Robert Hoffman about some of the mayors, and they feel the need to know if any COVID-19 testing, any COVID-19 positives have come from the area. So can you kind of share what we talked about a couple of days ago about just what you've been able to glean from what your residents are saying, and if there have been any new developments in what we talked about?
Well, I kind of agree with all of the other men, and that it would behoove us to be told whether or not we have any of the positive cases, whether or not any of the positive cases are from our villages. And there have been rumors that there's been one case from my village, but once again, there's been no confirmation from official confirmation that is in fact the case. And so, I mean, it is kind of frustrating to some extent, but by the same token, I try to focus on what I need to do, and that's just to try to keep the people calm, and try to answer the questions that they may have that I can answer, or that my office can answer in the best way we can.
Mayor, so no confirmation. No
official confirmation, of course not.
Right, and so that's interesting because Mayor Hoffman was able to get official confirmation. Have you
for his village?
For his village, yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've gotten no official confirmation. So, I mean,
but you've confirmed it.
Well, no, I have not confirmed it.
Okay.
I mean, there have been relatives from residents of this village that indicate that they have a relative that has been confirmed positive, but I haven't confirmed that with a government agency.
Right, yeah, and that's something that we've heard from multiple sources, but again, because of the way they're reporting out the information about these COVID-19 positives, Mayor, we read an account from Hawaii where they had published information from I guess it's the
Hawaii Health Department,
right? So it would be the Hawaii counterpart of the Guam operation, right? So in putting out their information, they have the area the guy lives in, person lives in. They had the age, they had the travel history, the manner in which they felt,
and the gender,
and the gender. And so, what do you make of that reporting out this information? We're not really getting a lot of detail about these COVID-19 patients, and I'm not sure how much of it is hiding behind HIPAA and how much of it is maybe they just don't know. But what do you make of that type of information we're getting?
I'm like you. I mean, I have no medical background whatsoever, and so I'm not even familiar with the HIPAA laws. Typically when I have a question, if I'm not sure of the answer, I'll look. I'll actually read what the law mandates, but looking up what the mandates are regarding HIPAA is not something I really wanted to spend time doing. Yeah. And so, of course, I'm going to trust. I'm going to trust, as I should. I'm going to trust the information that comes from public health, who supposedly are the duty experts. And unless it can be proven that they're, like you guys had alluded to, that they might be hiding behind some HIPAA laws, and they actually should be providing us this information. I mean, if that can be proven, then of course,
right.
Then I have a change of.
Right. Well, we're not really alluding to it. We're saying that other jurisdictions that are reporting this same information are reporting more information. So I'm not really sure it's an illusion. I think it's just a statement of fact.
Well, I mean, I hear what you guys are saying, but by the same token, I mean, I haven't had time to research.
Right.
My focus. Yeah. My focus is to be the mayor of Ordot-Chalan Pago. My focus is to try to answer questions as best I can. And, believe it or not, there have not been a lot of questions from residents in my village as to whether or not there have been any positive cases.
What are they asking you, though? What kind of questions are they asking?
They're asking, are these places open? Can we do this? Can we go there? Laundry, for example. Can we still go to the grocery store? Trash collection. Are they still picking up trash? I mean, those are the basic things that we would get called on anyways.
Right, and I think maybe that's because if people are doing what they're being told to do, then worrying about coming across someone who's positive shouldn't really be entering there if you're sheltering in place.
Sure.
Yeah.
Are you guys having any sort of briefings with the governor or the Joint Information Center
Well, we had one this week. We had one this week, and we had one last week, and so it's kind of once a week since this whole thing has been going on.
And what do they tell you guys in these briefings?
Just basically just basically where we're at in this, lockdown, and then just a generic how many cases have been diagnosed as positive, and then any plans that they're looking at as far as moving forward with how to handle the situation. And I think for the most part, and for me, it's been something that this administration has done very well. Is that they've actually gathered us together, all 18 mayors and 7 vice mayors, and not only briefed us, but more than anything, which has never been done by any previous administration, as a body, has given us an opportunity to ask questions. Because all of us kind of focus on different things based on the calls we get. And so, but they provided us a consistent forum and asking them questions directly and getting answers from them directly as far as issues that we're concerned about.
Well,
so can we give you some questions, and then maybe
Mayor.
you can ask for us?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
When was
the best person to give them to is the person you just called, Robert Hoffman.
He's got the pull, right?
When's the last time you guys had a briefing?
Monday.
Okay.
Monday.
And Mayor, I want to go to this lockdown because I know you're where they say, hey, Mayor Gogue, by the book. Are you going to be going around the village, doing your part to kind of enforce this order that came out that goes into effect at noon?
Well, I mean, I will do that as it applies to this village. And so, but we don't have bars and restaurants other than Homai. But yeah, I mean, we'll be kind of monitoring that. Whereas whether we'll be monitoring that as to whether or not people are doing locking down, because lockdown, according to the executive order as I read it, I mean they can still go to the grocery stores and shop. So I've got several mom and pop stores.
Right.
I've got a laundromat, in the village, but I don't have any bars in the village.
Right.
I don't have. We have one restaurant in the village, so if I see people there, it's going to be a matter of whether they're dining in, which they cannot do.
Right.
As opposed to are they remaining open so they can try to make themselves with takeout, which they do. I mean, they in the past even we have.
I think we've all had Homai takeout at some point or another.
Absolutely. And so, I mean, for my family, that's a very go-to thing. Call them up, and in 15 minutes we can go and pick up our meal for whatever meal we're ordering. And so, but I'm not as challenged as maybe Tamuni.
Right.
I'm not as challenged as maybe Dedido and Jigo. I mean, because I believe they have bars in their villages, and they have more restaurants, obviously, than I do.
Yeah, but what we're seeing and hearing, Mayor, is that there's a lot of self-policing, if that's what you want to call it, where people are following. I mean, I think a lot of them have been kind of following this order, and they already have been just going out to get groceries and stuff. Because when you look out, I mean, other than people going to work, and I'm not sure how that's going to change when this executive order goes into effect. I think people are afraid.
Well, I agree with you, and that's why I think the policing has been good, thus far, because people are afraid, but at the same time, what we try to do is provide them with balance, So we've been keeping our office open since last week, only as a means of letting our residents know that if they need something answered. Give us a call. Come in. If you're sick, of course, don't come in. But if you need somebody to talk to face, I'm there. You can sit down, talk to me, and I will answer the questions as best I can. And if I don't have the answers, I'll find out what I can based on the questions they may have.
Right, Mayor, and I think that does, in some ways, provide some sense of comfort and normalcy when we've got all these things going on around us, but maybe your residents can say, hey, Mayor Jesse's still working.
Yeah, yeah, and it has. I believe it has. And it has, and it does make a difference. And saying, I mean, because what when we talked a couple of days ago, I said more than anything, you need to be concerned. People need to be concerned about this virus because there is no antibody that they can be administered if they catch this virus that'll help them combat this virus. And from what we've read thus far, what's been issued, more importantly, for those who have immune systems, weakened immune systems,
right,
they need to be extra careful. As a matter of fact, I mentioned I just got notice from a family, who's been a family of this village since after the war. I mean, they're what we call an ancestral family, right, of this village, and they had a death in the family. And so, of course, they came to borrow some canopies and chairs for their rosaries. And I said, we can issue those canopies and chairs. In fact, and I explained to them the reason. And what concerned me is her father, who passed away, is 79 years old, and he still has a brother and a sister and other relatives that are just about his age. And so, and they, because of their age, and obviously some of them have a weakened immune system, I said, you need to, great, have your rosaries. But for the relatives in your family to have weakened immune system, you need to discourage them from attending these rosaries because you don't know who's going to be there, right, and who they came in contact with for the last week.
Yeah, but I mean, you imagine trying to tell Tanana she cannot go, pray the rosary.
Yeah. And you hear that now. I mean, when the fact that we're not having masses, you hear those comments even now. I'm a strong Catholic. I have a bad day if I miss mass on Sunday, for me personally. Mm-hmm. An emotionally bad day, because I know, I had to miss mass for whatever reason on a Sunday. And I know where they're coming from. I know where the Manamko are coming from. In fact, I'm in my 60s. So I like to think that, I've earned the right to call myself a Manamko. And the point is that setting aside, what the strong beliefs we have and the strong commitment we have to even our faith, ultimately we have to ask yourself is, do you want to put yourself in a position where you're potentially going to be affected by this virus, because you don't know, you just don't know that the people that you're going to be coming in contact with might have been, who they might have been around, and whether those people that they were around was asymptomatic, but nonetheless a carrier of the coronavirus. And I mean, it just can really get out of control if we loosely allow ourselves to come in contact with people on a daily basis. And then at some point in time, you may come in contact with one of these manamkos or one of these relatives that has a compromised immune system.
Or somebody who cares for a manamko. Yeah. I mean...
Yeah, and you want to be the carrier or the person that they pinpoint as the carrier that infected all of these people.
Right.
Missing mass is bad, but knowing that I was a carrier that infected a bunch of people, that's even worse.
Well, Mayor, we know you got a lot of work to do. Is there anything else here you want to share to the island or maybe to your residents who are listening or watching the show on Facebook Live?
Yeah, stay home. I mean, if you have no reason to go out, stay home. Stay home. And if you're not sure what you can or cannot do, give your mayor's office a call. And if you need help, call your mayor's office, and if we can help, we'll try as best we can to help.
Well, there you go. Thank you, Mayor.
Thanks a lot, Mayor.
Okay. Have a good one.
All right, Mayor Jesse Gogue of Ordot-Chalan Pago, 658. We're KUAM FM, Agatni, Guam, containing COVID.